G'day, ZiggyD here, and I'm back. For those of you who know that I usually upload every single day, I haven't uploaded anything over the past 2 days, and that's because over the last 48 hours I've had no power at my house. So it turns out the company we organised our power through in our new house that we just moved into didn't bother forwarding any paperwork to the electrical company. So yesterday morning around 10 AM while I was sitting here answering some comments, guy just came up and switched the power off, so that was pretty fun. So I eventually got onto them and was persistent enough to get them to come out today finally and switch the power back on, and they gave me a refund of some fees and things like that. So power's back. I hate missing 2 days worth of videos, but at least I was able to get that podcast out and fully uploaded before that happened. If it had have happened a day earlier, then that would have interrupted the podcast and everything, because it was at pretty much that exact time that we were recording it. So that would have been pretty devastating. I was paranoid the whole time I was doing that podcast that I was going to lose the footage or something like that. And if the power had have been switched off, then I definitely would have lost the footage. So that would have been a nightmare. But luckily, it just interrupted normal video scheduling. So yeah, sorry I've missed out on guides for the new subscribers, and there's probably about 300 of you guys since I did that podcast. I usually upload every single day, 1 to 2 videos, trying to go for 2 videos, but I don't always get there, trying to still work out my schedule a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about the podcast. I'll also make this just a general update about things that have been going on and things that will be going on. The podcast was amazing. It was kind of something I really didn't expect. Basically, Ariok approached me about a week ago and said that he wanted to do this sort of podcast. And I sort of knew Ariok, and I knew that he hung out on Crypt's stream, and he knows a few people, and he's done racing and things like that. But I wasn't sure whether it would be something that would be actually able to happen, because you often hear about ideas, or you have ideas yourself that never really pan out. And having a state of the game style podcast for Path of Exile with guests like Kriparian on it, and even Ariok himself, is I was like, well, okay, if that happens, I'm totally in for it. But I didn't get my hopes up too much. But then when it pretty much actually happened, that was pretty awesome. And I know a lot of you guys have really enjoyed the podcast, and it's something hopefully we can do each week. I've been talking with Ariok just today actually about possibly getting on a high-level racer for next week's podcast, and we're going to talk about racing, because hopefully the hardcore races will be starting then, or the events will be starting. We don't know for sure, but if not, then maybe we can delay it a little bit. I'm not too fussed on keeping a super tight schedule since it's direct to VOD. I'd rather have it be interesting and have interesting things to talk about. Or alternatively, we could talk about racing in advance of racing, like give people new players who are looking to get started into racing, something to learn a little bit about what racing will be like. So that's pretty cool, but it is something I'd like to do fairly regularly if we can pull it off. I think the Path of Exile community can really benefit from having sort of a regular discussion show, high-level discussion show with different guests. It's a great way for guests to get on the show and express their opinions about the game, and just spread that knowledge and grow the community strong. In StarCraft 2, State of the Game, I think, was a huge benefit, a huge boon to the community, and I know people are really hungry for that sort of content, so it was pretty amazing to be able to get something out. Man, I was so nervous going into it though. Obviously, I'm a big Crypt fan as well, and just going into basically my first podcast as a host, I wasn't originally even planning on being a host, but we worked it out and talked about how we'd organize the show, and it ended up with me, saying I'm willing to host the show. I think I can do it. I've watched plenty of JP McDaniels from State of the Game, and I think I can probably emulate that a little bit and keep the conversation going. And I guess for my first podcast, I did okay. People seem to enjoy it. I know there's a lot of stuff I can improve. There's some technical things I want to work on, the sizing of the cameras. I think I found a way on Skype to fix that. And later on, once I get my new computer built, I'll be able to actually have XSplit going and do scenes and arrange it much better. And also just on more my management, I'd like to make the show a little bit smoother, make sure that people aren't interrupting each other, especially me interrupting people so much. It's kind of hard to judge that thing sometimes, but that's just something that I can practice and work on. So I like to watch over these things and see how I can improve. But I think it was a pretty solid start, and we certainly started with a bang with having Kripparrian on the show and talking about a lot of the different stuff, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and had lots of responses so far, and as I said, 300 or so new subscribers. That's pretty awesome. Hey guys, to the new subscribers. Yeah, basically it. So the other thing I wanted to mention was this building my new PC. I've been hanging out in Kripparrian's stream chat a fair bit lately, talking to people, and lots of people are asking me, if I stream, or why don't I stream, or will I be streaming in the future. And I've mentioned this a little bit in the past to some of my subscribers, but streaming is something I definitely want to do. And what I would like to do with streaming is to have it be a less formal and more interactive version of my videos, basically. So I'd have, like a stream schedule. I probably wouldn't stream as much as someone like Kripparrian does, because I wouldn't be grinding out endgame maps. Instead, I'd be focusing on things like helping people plan out builds, leveling my own builds, like build of the week builds, talking about skills, and just interacting with people, answering questions and that sort of thing. So making it a lot very educational and things like that, but also much more casual than my videos, which are often like scripted or planned out and very just me telling you something. I'd rather have it be much more interactive. So it's something I definitely want to do. The limitation at the moment is that I'm on a Mac. Yep. Sorry, instantly hit that unsubscribe button now. Just unsubscribe straight away. Your full-time gamer who makes guides for the games you play is on a Mac. Pretty horrible stuff, I know, but it's definitely something I want to fix. Basically, I bought a Mac when I was in university studying marketing and management, and I had no idea I'd become a full-time PC gamer and YouTuber and possible streamer, so buying a PC wasn't something I wanted to do. And although I really enjoy the Mac work environment for doing a lot of things, and doing like Photoshop graphics and stuff like that, it's great, but for actual recording videos and playing games, it's not so good. I'm really starting to struggle on Path of Exile with making good fluid videos. So it's definitely something I want to build, and I think I'm about halfway there. So something I just wanted to mention was, I haven't actually mentioned this at all in any video, but in the description I've posted like an email account where people could donate to help me build this PC a little bit. Basically, I run my budget very fine, very precisely, so that I'm able to do this full time, on essentially very little money, like probably below minimum wage. We're still able to pay the bills and buy our food and things like that. So I thought, maybe there are some people that want to, but it wasn't really something I expected or pushed or anything like that. As I said, I didn't even mention it in a video, but a bunch of people actually donated, so that's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. But like, some people, donate a little bit, or some people have even donated a lot, and I'm like, it's just helped out so much. Like, sometimes these one people donating is like, for me, like a couple days worth of YouTube income, basically. So I'm getting much closer to building PC. I'm probably halfway there, and I can also resell the Mac once I've got it. So with some shifting around of finances, it could be something that happens maybe in the next month or two, and something I'm really looking forward to, because it will allow me to make a lot better videos a lot quicker, and more importantly, could allow me to stream. The only bottleneck after I get a better computer with a better CPU for streaming will be the internet connection, but hopefully that's something I can fix up. So as for planned content, basically, as I said, I want to keep on going with the podcast. I want to get back on top of the Wraeclast Survival Guide series, which is tailored towards brand new people going to Path of Exile. It's sort of like a long-term project. I have 2 background footages for that planned up. I just need to make them into videos. And I want to, this week, I'm continuing on with the IceShot Ranger, basically. So instead of holding a new build poll, which would already be out if I had been doing it, I'm going to be pushing this build forwards into endgame, because I really want to test out this idea of pure evasion, this blind totem thing that I'm trying out, Infable, and that combination of seeing how far I can actually push invasion and how the build works in endgame, so I can give you guys a much better guide. So I'll probably do a build update maybe around level 50 or 55 or something like that, and I'll keep pushing that and try to get it to a higher level, get it into maps and by the end of the week, and maybe by that point races will have started up, and then I'll start a new build for races. Maybe I'll do a week race sort of casually, or I'll hold a new poll and do a new build then. So although some of you guys might have been looking forward to a new build poll and a new build, so I don't know, a lot of you guys wanted to see a CI build, which I think is what will be the next poll that I hold, will be CI builds. But I think it's important to take some of these builds to endgame if I can, and to test them out. And I'm still in hardcore with this build, and it's going very solidly, so it is something I want to test out, because I'll be able to give you guys a much better guide on it in the end. So I think it's worthwhile overall, sacrificing a week to be able to do that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that, and you know, it's okay to wait a little bit longer for an extra build. So other than that, since I'm not going to be having as many build guide videos this week until the actual build guide comes out, you know, maybe I'll do a recap. What I'm going to be doing is giving you guys some more general guides. The ones that I have in mind are especially gearing guides. A lot of people have been asking me for guides to gear, so I'm going to talk about how your skills and your gear interact, and also I'm going to be taking a look at each slot in gear and what makes it good, I think. So like, you know, taking a look at boots and looking at the mods and affixes that make boots good, and how to identify a good pair of boots, and you know, what you should be looking for in boots, basically, that sort of thing. So I'm going to try and start planning up some guides for that. So lots more general sort of guides like I used to do a lot of, you know, in the downtime between doing other videos that I've got sort of, you know, scheduled to happen each week. So that's pretty much it. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thanks so much for subscribing. Hopefully I put out a lot of content in the future that you really enjoy. And thanks so much to everyone that supported me up to this point, you know, with views, you know, sharing my videos with your friends, and even to those people who have actually donated money. That's incredible. So thank you guys so much. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.